8:40 and 8:45. It is now time to turn over to our speaker, Patrick. So yeah, Patrick, you have until about 20 till or quarter till, whatever you want to do. So.
Hey guys. So I asked Hillary yesterday if it would be okay for me to read something from Sermon on the Mount, and she said yes. She said yes. So I have a really good reading that it's changed my life. I guess I'll just start. I'll just read that and then I'll talk about it. Okay, cool. So I guess I'll just read it first and then I'll go into it. It comes from the Beatitude, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. And it speaks about the true significance of the word meek in the Bible as a mental attitude for which there is no other single other word available. It is this mental attitude which is the secret of prosperity or success in prayer. It is a combination of open-mindedness, faith in God, and the realization that the will of God for us is always something joyous, interesting, and vital, and much better than anything we could ever think of ourselves. The state of mind also includes a perfect willingness to allow the will of God to come out in whatever way divine wisdom considers to be best, rather than in some particular way that we have chosen for ourselves. So I guess whenever I'm, fucked up or tripping or whatever, I sometimes read this and I just need to be reminded that the will of God for me is always something better than I could have come up with. And I have so many different examples of this in my life where I'm either losing something, not getting something I want, and then later I realize, wow, that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And then I guess a good place for me to kind of start, and I like to share about this. I've been sober 15 years, and the first, I guess you could say half of my sobriety was alcoholically chasing a career, as I think most men and women do. We have this idea that if we become successful and on whatever level, and we achieve some sort of monetary gain, that's what life is all about. And I found that for me has been the biggest struggle in sobriety is just constantly trying to convince myself that society is wrong and this is right. Because let's be honest, I don't really think that we live in a society that's generally promoting meekness. I think our society is generally promoting win, go, success. Are you working hard enough? Are you doing, what are you doing? Are you grinding? Are you getting money? I mean, especially in the youth rap culture, which is super popular right now. I mean, it's all about money, flashing your money. How many cars do you have? How many chicks did you have sex with? And it's difficult, I think, sometimes. I mean, watching this Last Dance documentary, Michael Jordan. We all want to be like Mike, right? And just win and just, competition, rat race. So, okay, I don't know. That might be cool for some people, but for me, it's a problem. And I will say that I'm as much as I'm really enjoying this documentary, it's incredible. And I think the story of Michael Jordan and the Bulls is just, it's amazing, and I'm loving it. But I will say that it's triggered my alcoholism in a way where I'm damn, maybe I should start going harder. It's inspiring, right? But it's I need to check my, that's just not my, I can't live that way. Maybe he could, maybe he was happy. I feel like odds are he wasn't. I don't know. That's really not for me to like figure out. I know the only thing for me to figure out or to recognize is that I just need to put one foot in front of the other, leave the results up to God, and try to enjoy the process. And if I can enjoy the process, then it doesn't really matter if I win or lose. I love this. One of my best friends, Dane, he died of cancer like 5 years ago. And he wrote this song called Learning to Lose. And I turned it into a brand, trademarked the brand. And I have a podcast called Learning to Lose. And I feel like it's kind of my mission statement in life. Learning to lose has so many different meanings and so many different ways you can look at it. For me, I think if I can figure out a way to just enjoy the game of life, because let's just be honest, I'm super competitive, I'm super driven, I'm super passionate, I'm like an artist, and I just am obsessed with, winning. Right, and what if there's one thing that primetime specifically has taught me, it's that my happiness really has nothing to do with that. As a matter of fact, so let's. I just want to go back to where where I was in the beginning when I said I'm 15 years sober, and the first half of my sobriety was heavily dictated on achieving certain level of success in the music industry, and I was able to get that through sheer willpower and ego and drive, and I found myself once I lost it, I was very miserable. I would say that I was even pretty miserable at the height of it in Europe on tour. Got a record deal, literally living my dream, or at least what I thought my dream was. But like it says here, the will for God is always something better. And when he took that away from me, I was devastated and miserable, and I hit another bottom in sobriety, which led me to primetime. And then after I found primetime, I kind of surrendered. I had another surrender in sobriety, and I kind of let go of what I thought I wanted or what I thought I needed. And I had a certain peace and freedom that I had never experienced before. There's this lyric to this Janis Joplin song, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And I kind of had lost it all. And my friend Dane had just died too of cancer, and that really showed me something about like what was important in life. And actually Chris Christopherson wrote those lyrics. Somebody just recently corrected me. I know that. I love Chris Christopherson. It's from a song called Me and Bobby McGee. And freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And I just love that. And then this song, Learning to Lose, and just that, I don't know. Because our society is so hung up on these words, winning and losing, and it's like this Last Dance documentary I've been watching is like, it's just this guy. As much as I kind of look up to Michael Jordan and I'm inspired by Michael Jordan, it's just all about winning. It's all about winning, and it's for me, that's just not a healthy way for me to live in sobriety. It doesn't embody humility. It doesn't embody selflessness. It doesn't necessarily serve me, because I think that winning, if I'm winning, someone else has to be losing, right? So I'm trying to I have been trying to kind of just reframe the way I look at the competitive nature of our culture, and just like, it's all good. Like, I'm cruising. I'm just cruising. I'm like water. I'm just water. Just if there's a wall and water hits the wall, it just goes around the wall. It follows the path of least resistance. It just, water will just kind of find its path. And I think if I can kind of be like water, which is having an open mind and just being willing to be meek. And that's why I just love this. AA comes from the Sermon on the Mount. The Oxford group was a Christian group, and that's how all this started. And it's based on principles that are thousands of years old, and they work. These principles work, and I think if I live my life by these principles, I will have gifts beyond my wildest dream. I have them right now. I'm in Palm Springs for my dad's birthday. I got here last night at 3 a.m. I got 2 hours of sleep, and I'm up here now doing what I love doing most, which is talking about my experience, strength, and hope with other alcoholics. But I mean, I'm in this incredible house. I have a great relationship with my dad and my mom and my family and my stepmom and my wife. I've been married. I've been with my wife for 15 years. It's like we have this incredible relationship. I just have such an amazing life. And I've lost a lot of things that I thought I wanted, that I was holding on to, and God will do for me what I can't do for myself. And I think that I just need to remember that. I don't do it perfectly. I'm working on some things right now that I go in and out of it. I'm in and out of it. Like the more I get, the more I'm afraid to lose. And I'm getting some stuff right now, again, in my sobriety. It's just like constant. It's like this. It's like, is there a way I could just like get meekness and just kind of have life be more like this? Or does it have to be like bottoms and then highs and then bottoms and then highs? So it's like, I get kind of exhausted sometimes, but I don't know. I guess that's just kind of the cycle of being sober. I get God, and I have amazing people like Hillary who asked me to, be moving closer to the program and closer to the message. And I get in it, and I'm working with sponsees, and then I start getting stuff from life, and I'm moving further away from it. And I'm like, oh, I gotta win, and then I hit a bottom. I start treating everyone around me like shit, and I start forgetting what really matters, and then I come back and I get real spiritual again, and then I don't know. It's just it's kind of like this exhausting roller coaster, but I guess that's just the nature of life and ebbs and flows, and I think every time I hit a bottom, I experience a certain level of pain, and they say pain is the cornerstone of spiritual growth. So I think I've definitely grown a lot, and I'm just really grateful for this program, and I'm just really grateful for this message, and I'm really grateful that I have a solution to my mind, which is where the disease exists. Drugs and alcohol stopped being my problem a long time ago. My problem now is my mind, and I just can't manage it. I just can't. I don't care what my life looks like on the outside. I don't care how many things I've accomplished. It doesn't matter. I can't manage my mind because my perception is warped. Glass in hand, I warp my mind, and it's not going to get unwarped. As much as I wish it would, it's just not going to happen. So having the awareness of that is everything. And I am aware of that. And today I get to be the son that I want to be, and I get to try to remember to shut my mouth and don't make everything about me, because I'm a selfish, narcissistic alcoholic who needs an immeasurable amount of validation all the time. I'm just so grateful that I know these things, you know. If you tell me I'm amazing, I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, well, you probably really don't know. And if you don't tell me that I'm amazing, I'm gonna constantly try to show you how amazing I am. And if 1,000 people tell me I'm amazing and one person says I'm a piece of shit, it's the one person that I'm listening to. So all the validation in the world isn't gonna fix this spiritual hole that's inside of me. The only thing that can fix that is God. And you know, once I can get filled up with God, then I can validate myself, my higher self, and my connection with my power. I can love myself, and I can trust myself. Well, I can't trust myself, but I can trust myself when I'm connected to God. And I'm in a place of humility and service and honesty. Then I can be like, you know what? Like, I don't need any validation. I'm good. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I believe in what I'm doing. And it's taken me a long time to figure out what my primary purpose is, even though you guys always told me my primary purpose is to help another alcoholic stay sober, and it's to help other people in general. So now I've pretty much dedicated my life to that, and it's been an incredible journey, and I'm super stoked. So yeah, I lost that career. I didn't lose it. I mean, I'm still in the band. We're putting out a new album. I just don't give a shit anymore what happens. I really don't. Like, and I started this new company where I was filming stuff, because I always loved filming stuff, and that kind of took off. But it was like, I feel like I was doing things for the right reasons, you know, which was, I enjoy doing this. I just want to find some sense of, I just want to find the joy in life, you know, the joy in the little things, the joy in waking up at 8:30 in the morning, or 8 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning to speak at a meeting at 8, when I normally don't wake up till noon or 1. It's amazing, you know, like I get to see the morning, and I just need to have a different I just need to look at things. Like my mind will always find a way to see the shit, the worst part of everything. You know, you tell me, oh, we're going on a vacation to the Bahamas, you know, most people would be stoked on that. I'm like immediately in fear. I don't like airports. I gotta pack. How long are we gonna be there? I just start looking at all the things, the problems. It's weird. Like, it's almost like my mind has been in the gutter for so long that it just keeps wanting to go there. I don't know. But this is really the solution for me. I mean, it really comes down to, like, I think this one paragraph has kind of helped set me straight so many different times in my life. The secret of prosperity, or success in prayer. Like, the only thing that matters is success in prayer. The only thing that matters is, like, praying right. Like, doesn't matter, like, how successful I am monetarily. It's like, am I able to pray right? Which means that am I able to pray for others before myself? Hillary's awesome. She texted me right before this, you know, let's pray for that person, you know, the people that are causing me the most harm, and that are the most viciously, you know, the people that are, like, you know, yeah, like, hurting me the most are the ones I need to be praying for. the most, because resentment's like the one thing that will take me out. But I am happy to say right now I don't resent anyone. I don't really, well, yeah, well, I don't know about that, if that's so true. I kind of got one that comes and goes with the stepmom and with the partner. Running businesses with your friends is not easy. And that's all I've ever done my whole life. I take my best friend and I go, hey, you're my best friend. Let's like start a fucking band or let's start a company. And then 3 years later, I'm like, I fucking hate that he works out more than me. It's crazy, It's crazy. And it's so cool to be able to talk about it and like recognize how crazy my mind is, Yeah, working out and eating right. That's a tough one in sobriety. That's the toughest one for me. I just don't like it. But if I love myself, I can take care of myself. I can eat right, and I can exercise. I can just go walk. Like, what if I just went and just walked for a couple miles? That's not that hard. I could do that. Let's just start there. Let me just start there. I don't need to keep looking at this unattainable bar. Like, let me lower my bar as far as what my next goal is. And let me bring it down to a place where I can actually achieve it. And that's kind of like one step at a time, like put one foot in front of the other. We're all just people. Okay, so how much time? Once I got to prime time, I really started to understand how powerless I am and how my mind, it's really a problem. I don't know if you're new or if you've had some time sober, but I think typically in primetime meetings, most of us kind of have some time. And I think if you're in a meeting at 8:30 a.m. on a Friday, the obsession has probably been removed, right? I don't know. Okay, so for me, the obsession has been removed as far as drinking and using. But thinking, that is an obsession that will never be removed. Well, it can get temporarily removed when I'm connected to God, but the most important thing I learned in primetime was that I can't I don't know what I want. I mean, I know what I want in this moment, but if I lose it, I just have to have faith that was what God's plan was. So step one is, I think, the most important step, and to understand that dash part after I become powerless over drugs and alcohol, and my life is unmanageable. My thought life is unmanageable. I can't really manage my life drunk or sober. And when I get sober, my mind starts to want, self and ego wants to start trying to manage it, And usually it's just this delicate dance. That's the thing, because we have to pursue things, and we have to get up, and we have to work, and we have to try, and it's really hard for me to exert that energy without becoming emotionally attached and invested in the results. It's just hard. That's the dance. It's staying detached from the results, even though I'm putting in this energy. So I think that one cool way for me to look at it is that it's not really me doing it, it's God doing it. And it just all comes down to the God thing, I need to be a beacon of light. And I need to, that's my dad. He's working. All he does is work all the time. Work. So I have him in the back of my head all the time. You got to win. You got to work. Dad, I'm speaking. Come on. This is serious. So that's where I come from. I mean, he's literally on the phone. He's got his book out. It's his birthday today, and he's working. He's working. He can't chill. He can't take a breath ever. It's real. I'm really up against some pretty gnarly shit, And that's how I grew up, with his voice in my head, all the time. Like, you gotta work, you gotta work, you gotta work. And then just denial and no discipline, no consequences, nothing. Just bailout after bailout after bailout. Like, I don't have any, there was never any consequences for anything I did. It was just a shit show for so long in my life. I think that's kind of a whole nother thing, a whole nother share about my life and the house I grew up in, and it just being kind of like the local drug house. But yes, so I need to allow the will of God to come about in whatever way divine wisdom considers to be best. So my mind is not divine wisdom. My mind is you need to get that #1 single on iTunes. You need to sell that show to Netflix. It's gotta be good. But like divine wisdom, like it might be, I don't know, maybe you're gonna meet someone along the way and there's gonna be some other thing that's gonna happen. And I just need to have an open mind. If I don't have an open mind, I'm not even gonna like see those things. Like, I just remember being in my group and there would be artists coming through. I would be working with different artists. The label would put us with different artists. And I just remember one time these kids came over to my house and it was, they were writing, they were gonna write a hook on this song we had for us. And I didn't even care who they were. They were like, I just didn't even pay attention to them because I was so like what's the song? How are we going to finish the song? And, 6 months later, these kids were like the biggest, they became the biggest group in the world. So the people that came to my house, actually, I'll just tell you, I don't know if you guys know who Frank Ocean is, but he was the kid who came to my house, and he came with Tyler and Taco. And these kids they weren't a big deal at the time. They came to my studio, and I didn't treat them the way I would have treated them had I known who they were going to become, right? And that's like having an open mind and being loving, and like, that's the way I want to be to everyone. I don't want to just, and I wasn't able to do that on that day. And it's just, I got to learn a lesson 6 months later, once this guy was getting a freaking Grammy for Best Album of the Year, the guy who was in my studio freaking singing some hook that we all thought was trash at the time. Well, I actually kind of liked it, to be honest with you, but the other two people in my group didn't like it. But I definitely think we all respected like what he was doing. But we just didn't, I'm so selfish and self-centered. Like, I'm only thinking about what are the results? It's like I'm thinking about what the results are going to be before I even start the thing. How am I going to do the thing if I'm not even like present in the moment? And that's another thing about prime time. Like, the prime time is now. I think, that's kind of what prime time means. It means like now and only now. Like right now, I'm sitting at this table. I'm looking at my vape because I want to hit it. Because I'm an alcoholic and I need coffee and a vape and I need something all the time. That's something I'm working on. I know I need to work on that and like take a look at why I do that. But right now I'm sitting here at this table. Sun's coming in. I got a little plant here. There's a little plant back here. You guys are here. I'm sharing. I mean, this is what's happening right now, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. And this is amazing. How amazing is this? How special is this? How grateful am I get to do this, that we all get to do this. Like this, experiencing this moment, like in its fullest, like that's God for me. You know, I'm not thinking about regrets I have in the past or fears I have coming up in the future. I'm just like right here. I'm looking at your guys' faces. We're alive. Hopefully we're healthy. And I mean, geez, like that's really all there is. Honestly, I've been on stages in front of a bunch of people and signing autographs, and I've done that. That this is all there is. This is as good as it ever gets. I love that. Like I've been posting a lot about that shit. Like I'll go on my bike and I'll ride up into the mountains and I'm like, this is as good as it gets. You're not gonna like win and land some $5 million deal and buy a fucking yacht and all of a sudden it's gonna be better in the middle of the ocean with like 10 supermodels around you. Like that's not gonna be better than this moment. I mean, that's been my experience. That's what my experience has been. Because I've been getting off a plane in France, going to a show where there's like 5,000 people. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like beyond my fucking wildest dreams. And I'm like nuts, literally like yelling at people. We gotta hang our banner. Our sound's gotta be right. Just like running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Because I'm just in fear that I'm not gonna get more. Because all I ever want is more and more and more. I know it's hard. I don't think that I'm telling you from experience, but I really, you know, a lot of people told me and I didn't care. I had to experience it on my own. Yeah. It gets better. You know, people told me the same shit I'm telling you. Oh, it gets better. Yeah. I'm going to try. It may not have worked for you, but I'm going to try. So I had to go out and try, and I got some shit, and I didn't really get any happier, and I lost that shit, and then I actually did get really happy because I just let go. But if it wasn't for prime time, I don't think I would have ever really been able to let go, like on the level that I did. Like I just gave up like completely, and I was just so surrendered. I was just like, I mean, I became so surrendered that the woman that I had been with for 8 years, who I never like really thought I was gonna marry, I was like, you know what? Let me just marry this chick. Like I love this chick. She's the best. She's so awesome. Like, what am I doing? She was right there the whole time. And I was so focused on my career and the next hotter chick, you know, that I just couldn't see what was right in front of me. You know, I was blinded by self and ego. And then I just surrendered. And I don't think if it was for prime time, I don't think I would have married my wife. And God, I'm like, she is just like, she's so dope. Yeah, it's like, why would I not want to get married? Because I thought that marriage was like, oh, you're married, like you're not cool anymore, you're not young anymore, you know. And then now it's like having a kid. I'm like, I don't want to have kids because once I have kids, then that's like my life. That's like where my life ends, you know. It's like once I turn a certain age, it's just like my mind is just so. I just create all this fucking nonsense, you know, in my head about all these different things. And then I get married and now I'm like, it's just cool. Life is just cool. And I think that my experience with my power and my God, it just can get deeper and deeper and deeper. And I don't ever figure this thing out. And I'm realizing I don't know that I ever want to figure it out because like I keep getting new it's interesting, you know? Like I said, I don't like this. I don't like having to constantly surrender and get stuff and then surrender and then get stuff. But you know what? I feel like, yeah, maybe like I read, like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I don't like. You know, I'd probably get bored if I figured it out and I was just good. So, yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I'm grateful for the hard times and I'm grateful for the pain. And if you're going through something hard, like I think we all are, most of the time, I know I am. And if it's not that hard, my mind will tell me that it's hard. I'm trying to find gratitude in that. That's like, I feel like the hardest thing and the highest level of like being sober is like, thank you, God, for this pain. Like, whoa, like that's ill. I'm not quite there yet. Thank you, God, for that, because I know I learned something from that. Thanks for letting me share, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks, Hillary, for asking me to share. I love you. I love all you guys, and yeah, that's it.